Hey guys, today I want to talk about the obsession with birth names. So, I want this video to be inclusive and watched by people not in the community, only because it's cool to talk about people being obsessed with our birth names and our names that we had before. But I think that it's also a good video of information for people who are the people that we're talking about right now, who are obsessed with knowing what our name was before. So when I'm talking about people who are obsessed with our birth names, I'm talking about people who aren't trans. Usually it's people who are not trans. I have been asked this question more times than I can count on any single limb and organ, whatever that I have in my body. It's honestly insane how I expect that question now from people who find out that I'm trans. I'm just I'm waiting for them to ask me because I know that it's gonna come. I also know that a lot of people don't know that it's rude to ask us what our birth name is, and I wanna talk about why it's rude. So I think that the obsession with our birth name stems from just being curious, and I talked about this in my cis curiosity video a year ago. People are just interested in knowing everything that's trans related when they find out that somebody close to them is trans or somebody that they just met is trans. So it's almost like, I want to know if your name is similar to the name that you have now, or I want to know if it was really girly before, or all of those things. I mean, I think this is what it is. This is all my guessing. Obviously I'm not in the person's shoes, I'm just guessing here. I also think that it's super rude, but it's hard to tell somebody that they're being rude when they literally did not know that something was rude. I still tell them that it's rude though. I tell them why it's rude, and I think it's rude personally for me. Obviously I don't stand for the entire trans community, but for me it's rude to ask for somebody's birth name because, one, it's a reminder of the life that we obviously were not comfortable in and had to transition to. It's not the name that we go by, and this is my biggest one that I feel is that when somebody finds out my birth name, they always know it. They know it in the back of their minds when they're looking at me. This is how, obviously I'm paranoid, but the probability that they could tell somebody else or that they can accidentally call you that, even in their heads, it's inappropriate because I don't want them to see me as something that I'm not. I am not that person that had that name before. I don't even like to call it my birth name. My name was changed on my birth certificate. It's the name that I used to use. It's the name that I had at birth. I don't like anticipating the question because then it reminds me that I had a name before, and then it reminds me of my past, and then it reminds me that I'm trans, and it's literally just a circle of dysphoria. And basically the dysphoria just makes you so uncomfortable in your body, and I don't know, I just really don't like to be reminded sometimes that I'm trans. Yes, I make a million videos a year. All I do is talk about trans things, and I do research on trans things and people and topics in the community. But it's different when somebody asks you personally and they literally just say, what's your name? What was your birth name? It makes me so uncomfortable. It just reminds me, I know, I get a reminder every day that I'm trans, whatever, I don't care. But it's on a different level. Just because I'm comfortable telling you that I'm trans, or that you know that I'm trans for someone else because, I don't know, you know about my research and you figure that I'm trans, doesn't mean I'm comfortable answering every single question that you ask. I am gonna make a part 2 to this video, not related to birth name, but it's the obsession with surgery. I don't know. It's just it's something new. It's something that people don't know about, and people want to know everything about it. And I don't think that for most people they're doing it in a facetious way, in a bad way. I do think that people are just curious, but I think that people should also be educated and know that it is not appropriate to ask that question. And then I guess people could say well, I mean, if you asked me that question, even if I changed my name, I would tell you, it's different, you're not trans. I have a history with that name that I really don't like. I remember hating my name when I was a kid. I remember hating when people used to call me it. I had a nickname that I was okay with, but there was different variations of that nickname that I hated, that my family called me, and I wanted to choke everybody. And then even in high school, I was oh my god, I'm having anxiety right now because I can't even, I don't remember people calling me that name. I remember people calling me my nickname, but obviously when I was in classrooms, people would call, like the teachers would call me my full name. Oh, man. Like, I'm okay thinking about my past, but when I think about my name in the past, it's a completely different story. I have not opened that door in like 5 years. I can't believe I just opened it. Whatever, I did it for this video. Oh God, I feel so weird. Whew. Because like when I think about my past, I don't think about myself with a name. Like, or like I just think about my name, Chase. But it's weird to like know that people used to call me that name, and I don't like that people know that name. Like, I'm really close to my friends in high school. Like 5 of us were like super, super close. And obviously they know my name before and like whatever, that's fine. But sometimes it makes me really uncomfortable because I'm scared that they're gonna say it, and I really don't like hearing that name. And I'm also uncomfortable if they told somebody else. Some of my close friends now kind of know it, only because like when I got my name legally changed, there was some like things that were wrong with my document. I thought that it said something because it was all in French and I was really confused. So I like showed it to some people to be like, can you help me, so they know the name. But I don't know, I think people like tend to forget it. I like people who are like super nice and like, we're like, oh God, I forgot that you even told me. I don't even know what that name was. That's great. Like, try to forget it. If you know it, if you know what my name was before, like, don't. Anyways, this kind of turned into like a personal story, but I feel like those are the best sometimes. Hopefully, I feel like I didn't actually provide any really information about birth names and why people are obsessed with them. But maybe if you are one of those people, I've had people in the trans community also ask, and I'm just like, no, like even just because we're trans doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you what my name was. Like, no, it's the same reaction that I would have like internally, like, God, no. So if you're a person who asks people's birth names, don't. Please God, stop it. I get that you're curious. I get that you have that look in your eye when you find out someone's trans. I see that look. I've seen it more than 1,000 times. Literally, I see it, that like, you're about to ask me that question. I see it in your eyes, that squinty and the like head tilt and the eyebrows. I know it. I could like analyze faces for like people who are about to ask questions to trans people. I know exactly what question you're about to ask me. I've seen it all. Point of this video is don't ask, okay? I get that you're curious, but don't do it. Instead, you know what you can do? Channel your curiosity into something else. If the person is super comfortable being trans, like if you're talking to me and you would like to ask a question, don't be like, so what was your birth name? Slap you in the face. Don't do that. Like, hey, can I ask you a question about your transition? Don't talk about the name at all. That's not what I'm going into. But if you want to talk about like, so when did you start transitioning? Like for me personally, a lot of people are not comfortable with this, but I am not even talking about birth names anymore, whatever. I ask me questions because I'm super open about it, but understand that people are not. So when people ask me super inappropriate questions about birth names, about transition, about surgery, which I'm gonna tackle in part 2, I literally say, look, I get that you're curious. I get that you don't understand how maybe your question is interpreted as very rude for people who are trans. I'm gonna answer your questions, but know that other people will not answer these questions, or if they do, they're doing it either because they're super comfortable like me or because they're uncomfortable and they feel like they need to answer it. So never ask these questions to any trans people unless they literally say, you can ask me anything about being trans, and then they name the things that you wanna. Just know that it's like super inappropriate to ask some of these super personal questions, especially about like your genitals and about your name. Honestly, if you're watching this video, you probably got sent here by someone else, or you're just one of my subscribers, which is cool. But if this is the first video that you've seen and you're like, oh, but like I feel like I'm allowed to ask those questions because like everyone asks me an appropriate question. You know what you should do? Instead of Googling it, no, go on YouTube. Look at the narratives of trans people on YouTube. You will literally have every single one of your questions answered. If you want an individual person like me to answer your question because you want to know about my specific transition, then that's different. But if you want to know about the whole transition, which is usually what people are interested in, like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? Then YouTube. Do it on YouTube. Literally can never make a video under 5 minutes. All right, I'm done. Go look at part 2. I'm gonna post it soon. Have a swell. Think of me. Bye. Just please don't ask for anybody's birth name or old name. Like, I can't even emphasize how important it is. Just let it be. The person's name Chase, a person's name Chase. That's all you need to know. That's all I'm telling you. Saying, have you had the surgery, doesn't mean the same thing to one person than it does to the other.